So it's a pretty small sample size, but it's been 4 games since the Warriors added Jimmy Butler on their team. And this is basically a breakdown of how he's performing so far and what the Warriors look like. So currently, for the past 4 games that they had Jimmy Butler, the Warriors are 3-1. They would have been 4-0, I think, if the Dallas game wasn't so questionable. They had a chance to win it, but besides that, they've been 3-1 since Jimmy Butler came over. So currently with the Warriors, he's averaging 22, 7, and 6 on 46% shooting. And the offense right now, it looks pretty dynamic. One of the things I've noticed is the instant chemistry that Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy have on the court. Like when they made the trade, you were kind of questioning how it was gonna fit, how the fit was gonna be, because Jimmy Butler isn't really that much of a three-point shooter, and you would think Steph, he's ran it with Clay for so many years, he would need someone that has an elite shooting ability from beyond the arc to pair with him, and so far it's working. So the two-man game with Jimmy Butler and Draymond looks very fluent. They'll usually start off with the action where either Draymond or Jimmy would pass to each other in the mid-post. Sometimes if Draymond's down on the block, Jimmy will get it to him, and they score a lot off of cuts and dives to the basket. And, that's one of their go-to plays on offense, I've been noticing. With Steph, Jimmy, he usually does handoffs with Steph. So it'll be like Draymond, Jimmy, and Steph on the top. And, it'll just be a bunch of handoffs, cuts to the basket. And Jimmy, he's added playmaking ability to the Warriors because, he has that in his game. And you're starting to notice it because Draymond, I'd say, probably is the third facilitator currently because Jimmy Butler's been added to the team. So that's just some things I noticed on offense. Defense, I'd say they're pretty much the same defensive team. I mean, Jimmy Butler, he's still a good defender, but he's not the defender that, he used to be. But he could get you a stop here and there. But overall, the offense, it looks a little bit more crisp with Jimmy, and they're still able to maintain their defense. And at this rate, the Warriors, they can make the playoffs with this team that they've constructed right now. But concerning title run, it's a little questionable because this is basically the theme of every team in the West. They all have a chance because the West is just so wide open with all the trades and the trade deadline and just the team construction in general. Any team can win it in the West. I wouldn't be surprised if this team made it out the West or that team made it out the West because they all have a shot. I'd say probably there's 11 teams in the West that can make the playoffs. There's only 8 spots available, so one of these teams are going to miss out. And when you do get into the playoffs, literally depending on who you match up with will dictate whether you can advance or get sent home. Because I think, at least for this year, matchups, especially in the Western Conference, will matter this time around. Because let's say the Warriors somehow make it to they get in the play-in, and they have to play OKC in the first round. That's gonna be a tough task. But let's say they finish, let's say it's top 6, and they get a Lakers team that somehow is the 3rd seed, or whoever finishes in 3rd. There's so many teams that can finish in 3rd. I really do think that playoff matchups will matter this year, and some of these top teams do not want to face some of the bottom teams because some of those bottom teams, they're pretty solid teams, and basically there's just a lot of parity in the Western Conference. But yeah, that's just my spiel on the fit with Jimmy Butler so far on the Warriors. They look pretty solid, and we'll see what they can do.